Imagine waking up to sunshine streaming through your window, checking your phone, and seeing that it's already noon across the country. Or picture scheduling a video call with a friend abroad who insists it's still yesterday where they are. These everyday puzzles trace back to one simple fact: the Earth rotates, but the story of how we sliced up time into zones and why that system sometimes frustrates us is a mix of astronomy, politics, and human convenience. Long before clocks were common, people set their days by the sun. Noon was when the sun reached its highest point in the sky. That worked perfectly well for villages and towns that were relatively close to one another. Travel was slow and local solar time reigned. As the 19th century brought railways and telegraphs, schedules stretched across vast distances, and local time became a practical nightmare. Trains could not keep a sensible timetable if every town ran on its own noon. Enter the idea of standard time. In the 1880s, international and national authorities proposed dividing the world into longitudinal slices, roughly 15 degrees wide, each representing 1 hour. This created a grid of time zones tied to a prime meridian first chosen at Greenwich, England, so that when it was noon in one zone, it would be roughly a fixed hour offset elsewhere. The result: shared reference times, predictable schedules, and a system that made modern commerce and travel possible. But the neat geometric idea collided with messy realities. Countries have borders that don't follow clean longitude lines. Populations cluster in particular places. Political decisions, economic ties, and even convenience for television broadcasts shape how time zones are drawn. That is why some time zone boundaries zigzag, why a single country can span several zones, and why tiny regions sometimes adopt the time of a neighboring country instead of their natural solar time. Daylight saving time adds another layer of complexity. Conceived as a way to make better use of daylight and save energy, many countries bring their clocks forward in summer and back in autumn, but not everyone takes part. Within a single country, think of large federations or island territories, some regions observe DST while others do not. The outcome: meetings that are an hour earlier one week and the same later, or international broadcasts that shift relative to local clocks depending on the season. There are also political choices that create oddities. Some nations maintain a single time zone for administrative unity despite their wide east-west spread. Others adopt half-hour or even 45-minute offsets places like India, Newfoundland, and Nepal because of historical or logistical reasons. Borders, both national and local, sometimes define time in ways that reflect identity or convenience rather than longitude, producing enclaves and islands of different time in close proximity. Technology attempts to hide these complications. Our phones and computers usually adjust automatically, referencing coordinated time standards provided online. Yet this convenience can lead to confusion. Calendar invites that appear at odd hours, flight itineraries that list departure and arrival times in different local zones, and the perennial annoyance of international travel, where you feel jet-lagged not merely because of light and sleep disruption, but because your phone's clock leaps with political boundaries. There is a human cost to all this. Time zones influence when markets open, when children go to school, and when workers start their day. Misaligned solar time can mean that in some regions the sun rises unusually late for social schedules, or that dark mornings are the norm for large stretches of the year. For commuters, this can mean starting work while it is still night. For businesses, a mismatch with trading partners' hours can affect competitiveness. So why do time zones matter? Because they are a compromise between the physical reality of the spinning Earth and the social reality of human life organized by clocks. They make global coordination possible, yet they are shaped by history, politics, and practicality in ways that sometimes inconvenience us. The next time you miss a meeting because of a confusing time zone label, remember, it isn't a bug in your calendar app. It's the long history of humans trying to tame time itself, imperfectly, across a round world.